Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mark, and in this video I wanted to talk about the dimensions of consciousness. What are they? Are they places? Are these places where we go, specific locations? Do we bring them here? What do they really represent, and how do we access them? So, if you have not already, please subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and you'll be notified when I release new videos. So we see a lot online about the dimensions. What are they? Do we go there? How do we get there? Do we have to wait? What's this whole process with ascension and accessing these higher dimensions? Well, dimensions are actually states of consciousness. They represent bandwidths of frequency. And when we come here to Earth in this third dimension, we actually bring with us frequencies of the first through the fifth dimension and actually beyond. Okay, these are all available to us here from the perspective of our physical body. But since we've been here, many of us, many eons of lifetimes in 3D realities, we've started to buy in and believe into the separateness, the separate state of being, that we are cut off from everything. And everything we have access to is what we could access through our five senses. That's really what 3D reality is, right? Well, when we come in here, we actually do ground aspects of us that are of higher dimensions, but we don't necessarily have access to them because we are not aware that they exist, because we are so bought into this 3D reality based on our beliefs and limitations, our traumas and our programming. We don't look to those frequencies. We don't even know they're there until we go through the awakening process, where we get a glimpse into them, and then all of a sudden our frequency changes and we start to remember. Well, these dimensions are all here right now. Okay, I'm going to say this again throughout this video. They are all here right now. We just need to remember that they are part of us, that we are these frequencies. Okay, so that's the first step. When we realize that we're multidimensional beings, we could start to now shift our focus onto some of these other frequency bandwidths, whether it be the dense bandwidths in the body that we need to heal and allow space for these emotions to be felt so that we could ground more of our light and raise our overall frequency. Or maybe it's our multidimensional aspects that are waiting to come through here to be experienced by us right here in the physical. So whatever it may be, we have access to these right now. So what are they, and how can we start to become aware of them? That's what I wanted to go over and explain in this video. So we land here, and we have five dimensions that are accessible to us. And if we want to look at the lowest frequency, the first dimension of those five that we are unconscious of typically would be the 1D self, the one-dimensional self. Okay, and this would represent like our cells, the smallest particles of we could call it living matter within our body, our cells, minerals, and even our DNA, water, those types of things, okay? Those are here within our body. Those are a part of us. Those are within our energetic field. But yet we're not aware of that, okay? Because we're so focused on 3D, we're focused on our full body, our physical body, and our ego and such, that we're not aware of these things. So they are here though, and they do represent themselves in our physical reality. They reflect back to us. We see water, we see crystals. When we work with crystals, this is a very good example. What we're doing is we're allowing that energy, which is a high frequency energy, to create space within our body so that we could become more aware of those aspects of our physical body, those 1D aspects, the water within, the cellular level, the cells, those types of things, which again are typically unconscious. So when we see our crystals, when we see water, we should immediately bring our awareness back to our body and know that those are manifestations of frequencies of energy within our physical body, because we do want to allow these aspects of us to come forward and bring awareness. We want to bring awareness to them, okay? That's typically the forgotten dimension, is that 1D dimension, and that is us. Okay, if we want to move up to 2D, we're looking at more of like a biological self, the lower brain function, the biological automated nervous system processes are a good way to do it. The breathing, digesting, circulatory system, things of that nature. Now, typically we're not aware of these, right? These are things that just kind of happen subconsciously or unconsciously behind the scenes. We're not aware. But we know that, like yogis, for example, and those that have spent a lot of time in meditation, can start to become aware of these functions, these 2D functions within the body, bring awareness, bring consciousness to these frequencies, and start to control some of these automated processes like changing blood pressure, changing heart rate, changing body temperature, things of that nature. So that's our 2D self, and that is a very real aspect of our reality here, okay, that we should bring awareness to. We want to bring all these aspects of us into the light so that we could invite in more of the higher frequencies and become aware of them as well, and ground our multidimensional self right here in 3D. That's why we're here, okay? So the 3D self, we all know what that is because we live it day to day, right? That's our physical body, our ego. We're conscious of that, right? Everybody's going to agree with that statement. We know what's going on there. Those are the things that we are limited to experiencing with our 5 senses. That's our 3D self, and that's where we spend most of the time. And we could look at that as basically being like looking through a straw. Okay, so outside of the straw, we have these other dimensional aspects of us, you know, 1st through 5th, but we're focused on looking through the straw, and we're just perceiving what we could see through that straw, which is our 3D reality, because we are unconscious to these other frequencies. Okay, and again, the awakening process, we want to be able to bring awareness to all of these frequencies, not just the higher frequencies. We want to bring awareness to the 1D self, the 2D self, really get into the small, minute aspects of the physical body using breath work and things like that, so we can breathe our multidimensional consciousness into these areas, okay? So, you know, like I said, 3D, we've got that. We know what that is, and that's what most of us are experiencing on a day-to-day basis. If we want to look at 4D now we're moving into higher frequency bandwidths. And before I go further, I wanted to just state that we could look at these dimensions as layers of our energetic body, okay, meaning the 1D is the closest, most central, and we move out from there. So when we expand our consciousness, expand our field, we're actually moving into the outer bands. We're expanding our energetic field around our body out and being able to perceive higher frequencies. So when we go into 4D, that's our astral body, our higher human consciousness, and we're typically unconscious of that, of 4D, except for maybe when we're dreaming, okay? Because when we're dreaming, we're traveling throughout the 4th dimension. And the more aware we become of the 4th dimension, the more we're able to bring those memories through to our daytime waking state, and we start to remember some of this stuff. The astral body, the 4D, is a place where our fears can manifest, especially in the lower 4D energetic field, that frequency. We can manifest our fears out so that we can experience them and bring the love of our light to them and alchemize those energies. So that serves a very powerful, important purpose there. I did a video a while back on an experience that I had shortly after I first awakened, where I had a few sleep paralysis type of experiences, and I woke up one night, middle of the night, and there were 3 tall, black, dark black, like shadow beings standing there next to my bed. And one of them reached its hand out, and I basically couldn't move. I was paralyzed. So I had an opportunity right there to experience some of these densities that were stored or trapped within my body and bring the light of consciousness to them to restore energy flow. So I had a few of those episodes, and that kind of weaned off and went away. So I was able to heal those aspects of me using, breath work and basically holding space when these experiences happened and not identifying with the fear. So I felt the fear. It was a very terrifying type of situation. But when we bring consciousness to it, we know what's happening, okay, and that we maintain control and we can't be hurt. So very powerful experiences in 4D. But when we move beyond those and we heal those, we get up into the higher aspects of the fourth dimension, where we can do some astral travel and we can unleash certain abilities that normally aren't found here in 3D. Time becomes a lot more pliable, and it's just an amazing experience. So that's 4D, but that again is here with us now. This is part of our energetic field, part of our aura. We just need to be able to work with these various dimensions, these various frequencies, and bring awareness to them. Okay, when we move beyond 4D, though, we move into 5D, the 5D self. And that's where we activate our light body and have oneness or unity consciousness, okay? Call it super consciousness, where we have access to our multidimensional self, our memories, our lifetimes that are happening in parallel on different planets, even higher aspects of us that are in the now, such as maybe your Pleiadian self, or even an Arcturian self, or some of our star family can present themselves. So when we are tuned into these frequencies, we have expanded to the point where we can perceive these frequencies in our energetic field. Okay, so for example, if we want to look at our energy field as a movie screen, we can literally align with these frequencies and project out a higher aspect of us right in front of us here in the physical. So, for example, I've had several experiences that I'm going to talk about now where I was on a Pleiadian craft in various rooms, hallways, things like that, seeing different species. And I was aware of being seated in a chair, in my chair, where my physical body was here on Earth, but yet I was seeing this higher version of a reality that I'm currently having. So it was almost like it was playing out on a movie screen. We could call it bilocation. I know I've used that term before, but that's basically activating these frequencies within your field, but being able to experience them here while we're in the physical and having awareness of your life here while you're experiencing it. There was another time where I had an experience on a small Arcturian craft. With an Arcturian, it was just an incredible experience. And again, the same type of thing. It's reflecting it out onto that movie screen, and almost like you're aware of your presence here on Earth and you're aware of your presence there on this craft. And another time where I was actually witnessing myself as a child, probably 7, 8 years old, in grade school, and similar type of thing, just standing there in the classroom and watching myself sitting at a desk doing work. So these are the types of situations we could have, and we don't have to go anywhere to have them. All we have to do is just simply align with these frequencies, and we do that by becoming aware of all of these dimensions that reside, all these frequencies that reside within our body. So I know a lot of people will try to go right for the higher frequencies to have the experiences, but we're here to ground our multidimensional self here on Earth and have these experiences in the physical and go through this ascension process with Gaia. So in order to ground our awareness firmly into the physical so that we can hold the space to bring these higher frequencies in and have these multidimensional frequencies experiences here, We need to really be able to become aware of our 1D self, our 2D self, do the healing of our traumas in the physical body, and anchor ourselves into Gaia, because she is the platform for which we are able to bring these higher frequencies in. And once we could do that, I can assure you, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to wait for anything. It's a matter of aligning with these frequencies, because now we have awareness. We've brought awareness to all these aspects of us, and now we can reflect some of these experiences out into our energetic field and start to see them and perceive them right here. Kind of sounds like how new Earth or 5D Earth is going to manifest, right? I always talk about how it's coming from within. When we align with those frequencies, by grounding ourselves deep here and doing the healing work, we start to perceive a 5D Earth, a new Earth, because we're bringing the frequency of love, of unconditional love through. And we are aligning with that, and that reality becomes charged in our field, and we're able to start to perceive it. Okay, so don't ignore these lower aspects of you. There are many, many, many aspects of us here that are begging for us to shine our light of awareness on, our light of consciousness on, and bring them into the fold. They all want to be felt. So when you're working with your crystals, when you're at the beach, bring your awareness back to your body, knowing that they represent an energy that is here. Okay, and we move up from there. Your heart rate, your blood pressure, your body temperature. Bring awareness back. How am I feeling? How does my heart feel? Is it filled with love? Are there palpitations? That type of thing. Bring awareness back to it and focus on it. And that's a great thing to do in meditation. Okay, so take that opportunity and bring awareness to that. Don't always try to go up in frequency, because oftentimes we become ungrounded and untethered, and then we get really fatigued. We came here to be grounded and anchored into Gaia. So please, please, please bring awareness to those lower dimensional aspects of you as well. And as you do that, you are going to create the perfect vehicle right here to be able to not only just start to ground your multidimensional self, your higher self, but actually allow it to come down, ground into Gaia, back up through you, with no resistance, and let it blossom out and cascade out around you, with the glory and the beauty that we intended it to be when we came here. So I hope this video resonated with you guys. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Go ahead and leave a comment if this resonated, if you're experiencing any of these things, if you've done work to bring awareness to these aspects of you, and incorporate everything. I love to hear from you. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and until next time, love and light.